What's up, everybody? The Boys spin-off Gen V just debuted, and holy shit, it's even crazier than I expected it would be. This will be a breakdown for episode 1, and you can find breakdowns for the other two, as well as a combined breakdown for the show on my channel. Whichever way you watch, there will be spoilers for every episode, so proceed at your own risk if you haven't seen the episodes, and have a great day. I really like this first episode. It wastes absolutely no time getting wild, and I think if you like The Boys, you'll love this show, and if you hated The Boys, you'll hate this show even more. There's not a ton of cross reference between The Boys and Gen V in this first episode. There's some stuff at the beginning, but that's not really a bad thing because it spends its time introducing us to these characters in the show who are students at Good Old U. That university is a mess, by the way, and I wouldn't expect any less from a show like this in this universe, and it absolutely did not disappoint, at least to me, with great characters and actors, good comedy, and all-time weirdness. So let's get into all the specifics. Let's start going over the characters, or at least the big ones, in this episode. You have the lead of the show, Marie, who is the one with the power to control blood, kind of like the Avatar Bloodbender. Her backstory is pretty up is she didn't get her powers until puberty and her first, yeah, that female thing, and then she killed her parents because she couldn't control her powers. That was a flashback towards the beginning of the episode as we jump forward where she gets accepted into Good Old U with aspirations of becoming the first female African American in the Seven. Once she's there, she finds out that she didn't even get into the crime fighting school, and she's livid about that. Then she finds out it wasn't even the professor's decision, it was his teacher's assistant who denied her, which pisses her off even more. But as fate has it, she's out partying with them later as she decides to accept an invite from Andre to party with the cool kids. Which, speaking of fate, that night out goes terribly wrong. Marie has to save a lady's life after she's injured, and instead of being praised for it, she's expelled to cover the cool kids' asses. The top dog of the cool kids and Good Olkin is Golden Boy, whose name is Luke. He's very much like the Homelander of this show, which is cool, but it might be too much for him to handle. He's said to be the next member of the Seven, and his suit that's currently being made costs 8 figures, which is wild to me, but I also love the fact that they even include this in the show. It's a very rare thing that's acknowledged ever in these superhero stuff, but I think it's great for this universe, and I'm glad that they did it. Throughout the episode, he's having flashes of his brother Sam, who, to his knowledge, committed suicide 3 years ago, but that's not really the case. They drive him over the edge, the flashes that is when he learns he's alive and being kept in the woods underneath the university. He's led to killing Brink, the crime professor, and then blowing himself up after that. Then there's Andre, who has telekinesis, I believe. Their powers are kind of left vague, other than a few that is, but it's beside the point. He's Luke's best friend and is the one who both invites Marie out and slices the lady's throat at the bar trying to impress a girl. He's kind of floating in the background this episode, but he has a very emotional scene with Luke before his death that propels us into the conflict for the rest of the season. And finally, Emma, who is Marie's roommate, she has shrinking powers but has to achieve it unconventionally as she has to purge to shrink and eat to grow. It's a wild take on the power, and she puts it to weird use as she gets naughty with the guy, and he's got quite the request for her. He asks, and she obliges that she shrink down and hang off his schlong, which was the weirdest shit I've ever seen, but it was hilarious. But those characters aren't as great without the actors who bring them to life, so I want to acknowledge my top 3 performances from episode 1. I thought Jazz Sinclair rose to the occasion helming this show. I was not personally familiar with her going into this, but she made a phenomenal impression on me, and I can't wait to get the rest of Marie's story. Then Clancy Brown, who unfortunately won't be in the rest of this show because he got incinerated, was fantastic too. He's always a joy to have in any project, as I just said in my Dumb Money review, and does not disappoint in this show. And finally, another one who won't be around anymore, Patrick Schwarzenegger. I've been rooting for him to land a franchise role for a while. Glad he did in this one, but I specifically want him in the DCU as Nightwing, and this show just reinforced my hope for that because he delivers an incredible performance as Golden Boy in this episode, and I hope we get some more flashbacks so he gets more screen time. I enjoyed this episode a lot, and I thought it set the tone for the other two episodes and hopefully the whole show perfectly. As always, though, I want to know what you guys thought about the first episode of Gen V, so go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you've seen the other two episodes, you can find individual breakdowns or my combined breakdown for them on my channel, so you can check those out there. I hope you enjoyed this video as well as those if you so choose to go watch them, and make sure you have a great day.